So for those who haven't met me, I'm Hayley Constable. So I'm the event executive at AMA Queensland, almost coming up to my third year. So I will be assisting Roz in order to run the conference program. So I'm just going to quickly explain how that's created for the people who haven't been to a conference before with AMA Queensland. So with the agenda, I'll be obviously, as I said, speaking about AMA Queensland, and then Roz will get onto the fun part, which is all the pre and post tours. So there is a long history of this conference. It started in 2001, so it has been running for a long time. Obviously, we had a little bit of COVID in between, so the conference didn't run over that time, but we were able to hold a conference in the Northern Territory as a bit of a consolation prize. And because that event was so successful, we're going to be holding a conference as well in Australia next year, as well as the overseas conference. So we'll touch on that a little bit later at the end of the presentation. Last year, obviously, we went to Lisbon in Portugal, and this year is going to be Athens in Greece. So the way that the program is created is that it is over 7 days. There's a welcome function at the beginning and a gala dinner at the end. It's not as formal as a gala dinner. It's more like a cultural experience. And then in the middle, we have a full day tour on the Wednesday. And then either side of that, there's 4 half-day conferences with optional afternoon tours. We have international speakers as well as national speakers. So last year we had the ambassador come to speak in Lisbon, and we also had some of the local experts in their fields in Lisbon come and speak to us, as well as national speakers from Australia. If you do want to present, you have the opportunity to. And we just ask that you send through what your topic is, and then the committee will decide. So Colleen's one of the people who has been in the committee with us for many years, and then also obviously Roz, but also our president, CEO, vice president was also involved, and past president. So we do have like a range of people who come together to create a program. That's not just from one person. With the program, this is just a little snippet of last year's, but just to remind everyone that it is CPD accredited. So when you attend the conference, we'll get you to fill out an evaluation form at the end of the conference. And we do have international speakers. So our accreditation is now done through CPD Home. If you haven't heard of that before, obviously the laws did change, and you do need to have a central place in order to hold all of your activity. CPD Home is run by AMA over in Perth in WA. It's very cheap compared to the colleges over here, but they obviously assist us with having that accredited. Sorry, did you have a question?
Is the AMA a CPD owner themselves?
Yes, that's right. Yep, it's fully accredited last year. Yep, it's very new.
Very well.
It's new. The lady who, one of the main ones that runs it, has been doing accredited programs for over 9 years. But yeah, it is very well run, and you can see a lot of all of the courses on their website as well.
Is there accreditation for the points scored by the College of General Practitioners?
Yes, it's basically instead of. So we used to go through RACPT.
If you're doing your CPD through another college,
yes,
can you just get those points accredited on?
Yeah, absolutely. It's the same, exactly the same. So we had 16 hours that was CPD hours from last year's conference. So that would be a basis. And then we issue you a certificate, and then you can upload that to your college as well. Yeah. So if obviously this is more for online people as well, if you would like to sponsor the conference, we had 3 sponsors last year. So there are people who actually come on the conference with us to all of the different functions, but please feel free to send me an email and I can discuss that further. These are all of the registration fees. So just a little reminder about the early bird. So the early bird does finish on the 4th of February. So there is a bit of a jump in cost after that. So there is obviously prices for members, non-members, etc. With the land package, so that is your accommodation package, as well as obviously includes the functions of the conference. So those are things like some of your tours, your welcome function, the gala dinner at the end. So those are listed off there and also in the brochure as well. If you haven't downloaded it already, there is a copy of the program on the website, and I have printed out a couple down the middle of the room as well as the registration forms. This is just the main questions that I get asked when people ring AMA and ask about the conference. So I thought I'd just cover that off just as a general, just because this will be sent out to a few people as well. So are there other accommodation options available? So there is obviously a main hotel that we use, and we use that in order to get buying power to get the best rates and obviously have our conference there as well. But if you were a family and you needed to have an apartment or kitchen facilities, ROS can facilitate that. So we just highly recommend that you speak to ROS first before booking your accommodation. Can I bring my family? Yes, of course you can. It's one of those conferences that does allow for, families and children to come along. They're obviously not coming to the actual sessions, but for the lunches and the welcome function and the final dinners and all of those tours, they can definitely come along to those as well. Is that all good? Yeah, you let me know. So can obviously I just answered that question. So children can come to the welcome function and the gala dinner, and that's obviously partners and things like that as well that are on the land package. Can I book my own flights? Yes, of course you can. ROS does have access to corporate deals. So last year we had a corporate deal that was with Emirates. I'm not sure if that'll change. Obviously, travel does change, but please feel free to contact her or obviously Karen in the Orbit World travel team in order to check pricing and speak to them about options. Can I book my own accommodation? No land package. Yes, you can. However, it doesn't include the tours, the welcome function, the gala dinner. So ultimately, you will just be paying for just the conference days, which is 4 half days. So there is obviously some people that say I'm from Greece or, obviously those types of things. So it is possible. However, there is $1,000 surcharge if you wanted to do that. And it's just obviously the costs that are involved with running an international conference. So if you have any queries about that, then please feel free to come and speak to me or send me an email. When do I need to decide if I'm coming to the optional tours? So the tours are listed off in the program. ROS sends through an email with a booking form. It's usually about a month out from the conference, and then you just tick which ones you want to go on. And if you want to do your own thing for that afternoon, then you can as well. So it's very flexible. Do you want to say the other questions for the end? Yeah, that sounds beautiful. So I will now hand it across to Ros. I know that was very quick, but we've got a lot to go through in half an hour. So she's going to be, she's obviously been working with us for the 21 years. Oh no, longer, 23 years. So obviously in running this conference as well. So I'll hand it across to her to speak about the conference itself.
Thanks, Hayley. Hi, everyone online there. That's all really great. It is, of course, the 21st. I've been on every one of them. People always ask me which one's been your favourite. I honestly cannot say, because every destination is just so unique on its own. I think that the great thing about travelling in something like this is that you get to do something unique that you wouldn't have got to do just by travelling on your own. It still allows you that flexibility to go off and do your things. It gives you the ability to mix with your colleagues. The number of people I've had actually saying, oh, I haven't seen him since college, and we finished in the same year together, and that it's almost like a half a reunion as such, but of course it always goes down really well. There was something I was thinking. Oh, as far as children going, depending on the destination, in the past we have had kids clubs before, and certainly if enough children were coming, that is something that we can look at. At the moment, we don't have that proposed, but if we, down the track, if we had one, and in fact our first ever conference was in Greece at Rhodes, and I have a clear memory of quite a few who, one of them is now a doctor and finishing his what's he doing? What's he doing? Orthopedics, and I remember him as a little one sitting up with all the other kids there. So it's really great to actually see all of the kids come through. I'm here with Karen today. We work as a team on putting in the conference for you and being able to assist you. Karen's going to have a chat later about some of the stopover destinations and also a little sneak peek at the Tassie option. Going through the program, it is, of course, a fairly standard format. It's tried and true. We break it up so that there's enough conferencing, but also enough time for you to go out on your own. We've got the included tour, of course, where you're going to see all the main highlights of Athens itself on the first day. So we arrive, we have the welcome function, which we always do at the hotel, because of course people arrive late or they don't want to go too far that night. So it's a great way. It's always a mixer. So it's a cocktail function style. Then of course we go into conferencing the next day, and then that afternoon we have an orientation tour where we're going to go into the Palaka and we're going to see all of those amazing sites. I'm fingers crossed when they put out their program. They're filling in their program at the moment. I remember last time, 20 however many years ago that was, 23 years ago, I got concert tickets to the Herodian. So I'm fingers crossed there's something really great on while we're there. Then of course we have, where are we? The Tuesday we go into an optional tour where we're going to have cooking classes, also out to the monastery. The Wednesday will be a full day where we've selected up to Delphi. So to get out of Athens and go up to the historic Delphi, which will be a great opportunity and something a lot of people who may have been to Greece before haven't done. On the Thursday, of course, back into conferencing, and in the afternoon we've got a sunset cruise, and again an option of doing a Greek cooking class, breaking it up into smaller groups. And in the on the Friday in the afternoon we'll have an option of the Poseidon's Temple. So you're getting really a lot of time to capture what Athens is all about. Saturday, of course, will be the departure day, or people might go down to the islands, do a cruise, go into Turkey. So that's, of course, what we're here to talk about, the fun stuff too. Now, we do have a couple of little videos along the way, if they'll work. Also in this presentation, which will be available online and sent out to everybody, there's actually a full clip here, which is about 30 minutes long, that you might be able to watch. Now, obviously, tonight we don't have that opportunity, so we've taken a few snapshots. That's the, yeah. Is that the Athens one?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to jump out of that to go into it.
Only just goes for a minute. Just as a little taster for
Athens, the capital city of Greece, is one of the oldest cities in the world, known for its rich history and culture. This bustling metropolis is a perfect blend of ancient landmarks and modern amenities, offering visitors a unique experience. A must-visit destination in Athens is the Acropolis, which is home to the iconic Parthenon, an ancient temple dedicated to the goddess Athena. From the top of the Acropolis, you can also enjoy panoramic views of the city. For history buffs, the National Archaeological Museum is a must-visit destination. This museum is home to a vast collection of ancient Greek artifacts, including sculptures, pottery, and jewelry. If you're looking to soak up the culture, a visit to the Plaka neighborhood is a must. This charming area is home to traditional Greek tavernas, boutique shops, and Athens. Athens, the capital city of Greece, is one of.
So the full copy of that, of course, will be in your
Email.
email. So post, obviously there's a plethora of things you can do in Europe. It's so close to everything. So if there is something in particular that you're after, of course, Karen and I are there to help you with that sort of thing. But what we're focused on here is cruising in the Med, a bit of island hopping, and also Turkey. Now, you'll notice in the main Athens brochure, if you've had a look at it, there is a cruise that's listed in there. Much to our disappointment, after it's been printed and it's gone out, and actually not that long ago, they've decided that that particular cruise, they're going to pull the ship and put it into dry dock. So, of course, we've got a couple of other options that are worthwhile looking at as well. Cruising in the Med, there's quite a lot of options, and it really depends on what you're after. There's the smaller boutique ships like this Elysium, which is a 4-star ship, and it only has 49 people on board. So it's small and intimate. It gets in nice and close. That has a departure on the 7th of September pre-conference through to the 14th. So it fits perfectly in right before the conference.
Yeah. I've got it. Yeah.
People talking.
Yeah. If you are watching from home, just maybe mute your mic until the end. We'll have some question and answer time. Azamara, which was the one that fitted perfectly before the cruise, they still have some really great options. They have, after the cruise, they've got 21st to the 3rd, one that actually goes from Athens, Sicily, down into Sorrento in Italy, Rome, Florence, in through France, Spain, Malaga, Gibraltar, and Lisbon. We've got 6 countries and 10 ports. It's an amazing Mediterranean view. And of course, it departs on the exact day the conference finishes. Azamara is a beautiful cruise line, and it's certainly, it's a cruise line known for immersing itself in its cultural location of what they're doing. So that's a really great option. They also have one that does the Greek islands, but unfortunately, as I said, ours was fitted perfectly, but this one is the 26th. So if you're going to island hop and also do the cruise, this one would be a really good one. It goes to Thessalonica, Mykonos, Santorini, all of the main ones there. So it's a really great option. Sea Dream is, of course, a known yacht. It's an in-between ship as far as size is concerned. It has a pre-conference which goes on the 31st of August through the 7th of October. So it leaves a week in between the cruise and the conference. So if you're going for a 3-week period, there's still time to do the islands there. That goes out from Athens and does a few of the smaller islands, including Santorini, Naxos, Mykonos. So some of the really well-known ones. And then, of course, they've got a coast, which does very similar. It does, of course, go into Turkey there and to Ephesus, that one afterwards. It goes on the 24th. So that leaves just a couple of days after the conference, which is a perfect length of time if you wanted to do something around the Peloponnese or perhaps up into Meteora, where the monasteries are built on top of that amazing mountainous range. Royal Caribbean, now we're getting into some bigger ships. The Odyssey of the Seas is a beautiful cruise liner, but it is a big ship cruise. It's 12 nights going beforehand. It goes the 3rd to the 15th, and it does Rome, Naples, Santorini, across into Turkey to Kusadasi. That's Ephesus, the main site there. Rhodes, and then back through Mykonos, Athens, and finishing back in Rome. It doesn't matter that it's not going from Athens. It's really easy to, of course, segue from Rome into Athens to do that conference. And then some island hopping. We might just have a little, just to get you excited, a little look at that Santorini clip. Santorini is probably the most popular for Australians.
Santorini, with its striking cliffs and whitewashed buildings overlooking the Aegean Sea, is one of the most iconic destinations in Greece. This volcanic island boasts dramatic landscapes, with black and red sand beaches and rugged cliffs that offer breathtaking views of the sea. But Santorini is more than just a pretty face. Visitors can explore the island's rich history and culture by visiting ancient ruins and museums, or take part in wine tours to discover the island's unique volcanic soil that produces some of Greece's finest wines. For the ultimate Santorini experience, be sure to catch the island's world-famous sunset from the picturesque town of Ia, which has become synonymous with this nightly spectacle. And for a truly unforgettable experience, consider staying in one of the island's luxurious hotels that cling to the cliffs, offering Santorini, with its striking cliffs and whitewashed buildings.
So just to give you a little bit of an orientation of the islands. Now, there's 5 groups of islands. There's the well-known Ionian, and of course, the most famous for us is the Cyclades. That's the one we all picture when we think of the Greek islands. It's like Santorini, Mykonos, Paros, Naxos. They're the volcanic islands with pebbled beaches and the whitewashed buildings. It's typically what we as Australians picture as a Greek island. But of course, within Greece, there's.
Oh, no, just press it hard.
Okay. The different regions there, we do have a lot of difference. For example, we've got the Green Islands that are up in the north. We've got the Ionic Islands, which are a little bit more cooler, and they've got the cypress trees. So it's really very different. We've got Saronic, which is known for its beaches and its ruins, of course, then down towards Rhodes. Of course, Rhodes in that area is really famous for the Knights of St. John, who ploughed their way through and left lots of medieval historic sites, which is so different to what is in the rest of Greece. And of course, the Ottoman Empire. And then, of course, as we know, the most well known to us, those whitewashed buildings and the rugged landscapes of the Cyclades. What we can, of course, organise for you is doing an island hopping. There's lots of these islands actually have, of course, ferries and flights in between. So it's so easy to connect around and do a couple of nights in each place. Now, Santorini, of course, is one of the most well known. What would you go to Santorini for? Of course, it's a postcard. It's magnificent. The contrasting whitewashed buildings with that volcanic ground. It's great for hiking. It's got the vineyards. Speaking of that, we've all had a little bit of Greek wine here tonight. Sorry, guys at home, you missed out. But I think everyone's enjoyed the taste of a bit of Greek wine. It's got, of course, amazing sunsets. It's got a historic site. It also has little villages, those historic villages where people are living as they have. Mykonos, of course, another well-known island, a lot more lively. It's got a lot of the clubs. It gets a lot of the young people. A lot of people go because they know it, of course. Mykonos, Santorini, they kind of come like a sandwich together. But just keep in mind, it is a lot more lively. The beaches are good, but again, colourful. Crete, I love Crete. I think Crete's got a little bit of something for everybody. It's the biggest island down there. It has, it's great for walks, it's great for history, it's great for beaches. It's great for a drive adventure. If you wanted to spend a few days doing a drive rather than just sitting in one place and, of course, just seeing your local area. It's got a little bit of everything. I love Crete. Paros, of course, is very like Santorini, but little. So if you're after something a little more intimate and a little bit more out of the way, then Paros is a really great choice there, where you've got those beautiful clear waters that, of course, the islands are known for. It's a lot less windy than other places there. And, of course, it's only a short ferry ride away from Santorini and Mykonos and those islands, so it's really easy to get to. Talking about the winds, the benefit with going earlier in the season that we're going is that it's before the winds pick up. It's interesting that once you get later into October and mid-October, the winds really pick up in Greece. And a lot of people say, well, does that really matter? Greece actually closes down. You know, a lot of the businesses in Greece are owned by Europeans or Greeks, they've gone elsewhere, and they just come home for the season and they operate their businesses, and come mid-October, shut shop and they go home. It's not like, you know, people say in the off season we can still go to the Gold Coast, you can go most places, but it's actually not like that in Greece. So they actually fit a lot of their tourism into about 4 months of the year. So it's quite a unique destination. Of course, and what we would do is package this together, where you might fly from Athens to Crete. You'll have a couple of nights there, and then you'll catch the ferry across to Santorini for a couple of nights, the ferry across to Paros for a couple of nights, and then return to Athens. All fits nicely in a week. So we can do that, and of course, Karen and I can discuss with you what islands might work for you and what it is you're actually looking at doing. And taking from those islands. So we've got lots of information. Then, of course, we've put together an option for Turkey. In fact, we've got 2 options. Catering for those who have got just the week after. We've got the 7-day, which is going to go down the coast of Turkey and go to all of those places that we know. Of course, it's going to start in Istanbul, and it's going to, thank you. It's going to start in Istanbul, and it's going to go down the coast. We're going to get a chance to have a dinner on the Bosphorus. We're going to see the Blue Mosque, the palace, and, of course, shopping in the bazaar, which is a great experience there. We're going to go down to Gallipoli. We were just talking before about going to Turkey, actually, with Colleen many years ago, and the astonishing experience that Gallipoli is. And it's just, not only is it beautiful, but, you know, I almost feel myself getting all emotional just thinking about it. It's just an incredibly touching and spiritual place. It's really great. Then, of course, we'll go on to Kanakali, which is Troy. A lot of people know it, you know, from the famed Trojan horse, which is apparently a bit of a myth, but it's really incredible to see Troy and the levels of city and how the sea level has changed and the different levels of the city that have been built. It's really quite extraordinary. You know, it makes us as Australians realise how young we are when you see these sorts of things. Then, of course, down to the incredible Ephesus, and continuing on from Ephesus down to Pamukkale, which, of course, the Candy Cotton Mountain, whatever you like to call it, which is the thermal pools. I was lucky enough, which is a bit, it's a no-go now. When I went to Pamukkale, I was able to actually walk in the pools. Of course, they don't let people do that anymore because, of course, suntan lotion and things was discolouring them. So they've saved them, of course, for us to be able to see, and it's quite an extraordinary sight. After the week, of course, of seeing all of those highlights, of course, those who have only got a week are able to, they'll fly back from Istanbul, continue on, or fly back home. The rest will be able to continue on for the couple of days, and they'll get to go to Cappadocia. Now, of course, Cappadocia is right in the middle of Turkey, and if you don't know Cappadocia, of course, we've got a couple of images there. It's a city built within the what of a better word, catacombs. I don't even know the technical terms of it. In the mountain, they've got hotels, restaurants. It's quite an incredible site. And of course, the highlight there would be to do, as the image shows you there, doing the sunrise balloons across Cappadocia. Something you'll remember forever. So that touches on what we're focusing. Of course, they're going to be dedicated AMA tours, so there'll only be AMAQ people on those, and give you a great opportunity to travel together. I'll introduce Karen. Of course, Karen's been with me for the last year, so a lot of you may already know her. And she's an amazing asset. I don't know what I'd do without her. So she's going to talk to you about her old hometown, which is an opportunity to stop on the way there or on the way back of Dubai, and also touch base about the fantastic initiative that the AMA have come up with as far as another conference, which is going to be a domestic one. We, of course, saw there's a few lots of people who miss out on these big ones overseas. So I'll pass you over to Karen. Thanks, guys. We'll have some Q&A at the end.
Hi everyone at home. I've had the pleasure of working with Roz for last year, and we had an amazing conference in Portugal, and it was lovely to help put it together and create some incredible holidays for everyone pre and post the conference. Athens and Greece are one of my favourite destinations in the world. I'm super excited. We've had a lot of interest already, and we're hoping that you'll join us as well. Today I'm going to just chat to you briefly about Dubai. I took off, like most Australians, to spend a bit of time overseas. Met my husband in Singapore airport, and didn't stay in Dubai 2 years. I stayed 23 years. So from a local's perspective, I just thought I'd give you a bit of a rundown of, people tend to forget that Dubai is a great stopover. It's a super long way to go from Australia to Europe, and a lot of people are apprehensive about how long the trip is. But if you break it up with a couple of nights in Dubai, it really does make the journey a little bit easier. So I've just put I'm not going to talk too much, but I just put a few photographs there. So it depends on how much time you'd like to spend, but I would recommend 2 nights. If you really don't have a lot of time, just do 2 nights. The hotels there are really luxurious. There's a wide range of prices. If you're busy doing tours in Europe and you're going straight back into work when you come back, why don't you spend a couple of days in Dubai just to relax and just summarize and think about the trip you've had, lie at the beach, swim in the chilled swimming pools in a resort, and go and see the Burj Khalifa and the dancing fountains. It is a safe city to visit. It's an international city. There's probably about 160 nationalities living there peacefully together. And I highly, from the bottom of my heart, would love you to come and have a chat to me or email me and see if it might be an option for you. A lot of people are Qantas frequent flyers. We have a lot of people that fly Emirates because they can get points when they fly Emirates. Don't forget that if you are flying on a business class ticket, you do get the chauffeur drive service here in Australia. Unfortunately, Athens don't offer the chauffeur drive for some reason. However, if you were to stop in Dubai, they would drive you to the hotel and back. So you've got the limousine service in Dubai included in your airfare. So if you're not using it, you're missing out. So the flamingos are beautiful in Dubai. The one on the right at the top is one of the old buildings. That's the old air conditioning. The wind used to go in to the wind towers and chill before they had electricity. Then you've got the modern part of Dubai, the Burj Khalifa or the Burj Al Arab. You could do high tea at the Burj Al Arab, the 7-star hotel that's off the coast that looks like the sail. You can do a tour up to the Royal Suite if you like. and then finish off with afternoon tea. It's just about an experience. So don't forget about it. Just thought I'd just tweak your interest and feel free to touch base with me at any time if you've got any questions. I've got a really short video to show you, and then we'll talk about Tasmania. So yeah, that's Dubai, a little bit of East meets West, very different to Turkey, but again, a really wonderful experience. So I'm going to move on to Surprise, which is our local event, a conference that we're planning for April 2025. 2025 is just around the corner. But like Hayley mentioned earlier, we had such an incredible response to the Northern Territory, and not everyone can afford the time to head overseas for conferences. So we thought it's a perfect opportunity to have some more families and people come down to Tasmania, which is just such a wonderful destination in itself. So we're looking at the dates, tentative at the moment, the 7th to the 13th of April for 2025. So beautiful time to be in Tasmania. Weather is lovely. Hobart is where we're going to have it. So it's a 7-day program, and there's so many options for pre and post tours. Really depends on the people that are going. If you've got young people, or you just want to do wineries or food or history, the environment. There's so many really classy places to stay. And it's super family friendly. So we're hoping that we'll get a lot of younger families come and join us on the trip as well. Oh yes, Port Arthur. There's so much. Pardon?
That's school holiday.
School holidays, yes.
Wow.
So good time. So please put it in your diary. And we're really looking forward to a great turnout.
We've done it in school holidays on purpose.
Yes, strategically.
Yeah.
How unusual.
Yeah. So that's all from my side, but yeah, thank you so much for your time. I'll hand you back over to Hayley.
Yeah, so I guess we time if anyone online or if anyone here has any questions they wanted to ask. Of course, we're available to hang around and chat afterwards. Otherwise, just give us a call or email us in the office. Just keep in mind, of course, that early bird cutoff fairly soon. If you are looking at registering to get in before then, we can still take time to. You don't have to have all your ducks in a row before you register. We can still take time to actually do that.
I don't think there's any questions online, but we will email through a copy of the presentation to everyone and a recording for those who missed out. I think there's somebody actually typing a question, so we'll go there. But yes, obviously feel free to reach out to myself or Roz. Obviously Roz looks after the travel side of things. I had someone who asked me today, where do I send my form? You can send it to either of us for the booking forms. And I flick it through to Roz, so then she can contact you directly and start organising your travel plans for pre and post, if that's what you wish to do.
Question.
Oh, yes.
So in 2025, there'll be the conference in Tasmania. Will there be an international conference
Yes, there
that year as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, that's great.
They're distinctly, well, there will be crossover and there'll be people who would be interested in both conferences. But we've recognised that from the people who went to the Northern Territory one, that there's a lot of people who can't always take the time.
Yeah.
They may be,
Young children.
young children, or they could be very well closer to retirement, but they just can't afford to take 3 weeks or don't want to do the long flight or what have you. So it's trying to cater for what people are after.
No idea yet of being post-conference tours in Tassie?
No, but there will be a tour of Tassie outside of Hobart, because of course, keeping in mind that most of the tours that you would do down there will include Hobart as well. So we'll do our own, but we will also do little side trips, because you might just want to do, as Karen was saying, wineries, or you may just want to do more historic. So there'll be some little short ones there as well. And we've actually also,
I want to go walking.
yeah,
Walk off the food.
yeah. And the, what's it called, the fire?
Yeah.
Bay of Fires. Yeah.
And there was
Very good.
one question that came through online. This is one for me actually. To register interest as a speaker, how much detail regarding the topic needs to be provided? So every month the committee will meet. We ask that if you are interested in presenting, probably maybe 80% of the program last year was from experts in their fields in Australia. So all you need to do is submit your topic and also 2 to 4 dot points about what they will learn, and then it's presented to the committee, so the president, CEO, vice president, etc. And then we come back to you with either acceptance or feedback. Sometimes we need a little bit of a tweak because there will be a theme of the conference. So the theme last year was building a healthier tomorrow, because obviously after COVID, moving forward. So I'm not sure what the theme will be this year. We'll probably find out when we all catch up this year. But yeah, it's the topic and 2 to 4 dot points on what they will learn. It obviously helps us with CPD.
Okay. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah. Thank you so much.